My family's safety has been put on the line due to your actions.
No more Duno at No Jumper. No more Smack at No Jumper. We gone, man. Me personally, I feel amazing, man.
We expanded too much during COVID at just about the exact moment that our revenue streams all took a hit.
The cracks were already showing, but what pushed this podcast empire straight over the cliff? Let's break it down. The come up. Adam Grandmaison came from New Hampshire. Absolutely zero ties to hip-hop culture. Zero street credibility. His first taste of dropping content was actually in the BMX scene, running a little brand called On the Come Up. That operation handed him the blueprint for everything. Around 2015 to 2016, he launched No Jumper, starting as a hip-hop blog before mutating into a massive podcast network and YouTube channel. The hustle was basic. Link up with rising underground rappers and let them put the whole world on notice. Back then, the SoundCloud rap wave was going totally stupid, and no other media outlets were paying attention. Adam saw the vision first. Tay-K, Lil Xan, and the late great Lil Peep, they all had their early music videos blowing up on his channel. A lot of those exact videos are still the highest viewed uploads on the platform, almost 10 years later. Bro struck gold with a scene nobody else respected, and he got there first. That is how you build internet clout from dirt. But he was still an outsider, crashing the cookout, begging for a plate. The real ones in the culture smelled the tourist on him. Even Dame Dash forced him to pay for a haircut just to score an interview. Adam took that massive L on the chin and just kept the cameras rolling. Scoring heavy hitters was worth the humiliation. And for a minute, it worked, because ad revenue was flooding in from all sides. No cap.
What does the whole brand make in a month or in a year?
No Jumper might bring in $1 million a month.
Add to that, the Patreon was doing 6 figures monthly, while Facebook alone dumped a couple hundred racks into his lap. That kind of wild cash makes a guy feel like a god. That is serious boss money, the kind of bankroll that tricks you into thinking you are invincible. Then the pandemic hit the streets. Instead of freezing his operation, it did the exact opposite. It shot his whole business straight to the moon. Video views doubled. Sometimes they tripled. His YouTube metrics were casually pulling tens of millions every single month across the network. Snapchat and Facebook were dropping independent 6-figure bags on the regular. The whole world was stuck at the crib with absolutely nothing else to watch. And No Jumper fed them content non-stop, operating like a 24-hour trap house for hip-hop media. So Adam did exactly what fools do when the cash flows non-stop. He started blowing through the bag like the well could never possibly dry up.
We expanded too much during COVID at just about the exact moment that our revenue streams all took.
He hired an entire army of editors, staff, and hosts, greenlighting show after show, stacking the podcast roster thick with names like Lil Housephone, AD, T-Rell, Sharp, and Lush. The math seemed brainless. More videos equaled bigger bags. And for a minute, the printer went crazy. He bet the house on endless growth, paying over 20 bands a month just for the building mortgage. And that massive overhead only got worse once you threw down for property taxes, insurance premiums, and random maintenance. The lockdowns lifted, people went back outside, and No Jumper's insane analytics crashed back to reality. But those bills stayed sky high, bleeding the company dry every single month. YouTube traffic went back to normal, while his Snapchat and Facebook checks got sliced by 80%. Even the Patreon, once a massive cash cow, started completely falling apart. The funds dried up from every single angle. Adam was left holding the bag on a giant warehouse, a bloated payroll, and a monthly burn rate his media business could not survive. The massive gap between income and expenses was about to get ugly. But the profit margins were not the only thing Adam was about to completely fumble. Profiting off pain. There was always this grimy, weird energy baked right into No Jumper's DNA. On one hand, Adam played the ultimate plug, throwing underground artists their first real spotlight before any record label or platform gave a damn. On the flip side, the videos were sliding way past music, plunging straight into the muddy trenches of street politics, gang violence, and messy internet beefs. And the thin line between documenting the culture and straight up exploiting it for views, Adam was looking more and more eager to just step right over it. The red flags started early. Like when Boonk Gang slid to an interview entirely out of his mind on substances, clearly in zero condition to sit down for cameras. To keep it 100, Adam did try to cut the feed, but the video still got uploaded anyway, pulling a massive 5 million views. He tried pressing Trippie Redd once, aggressively pushing questions about the Tekashi 69 drama, a messy topic that Trippie clearly had zero intention of talking about. Trippie ignored the trap entirely, straight up leaving Adam looking like a clown on his own platform. These grimy moments piled up. Soon, the way the streets looked at Adam hardened into one permanent label, culture vulture, straight up. The backlash hit different when heavyweights outside the No Jumper bubble started pulling up, pressing him and calling out his toxic moves directly to his face. One brutal exchange happened when a guest came straight at his neck, ripping him for farming cash off the trauma of young black men trapped in street violence. No sugarcoating, no media diplomacy, just a savage reality check. Real families were burying their kids, while No Jumper flipped their bloodshed into sweet YouTube ad revenue. Adam weakly argued that the guests got solid exposure out of the deal, but the critic was absolutely not letting him slide with that weak excuse. He flat out asked if Adam was monetizing the black street trauma these kids were dying over. Adam just sat there and said, I mean,
incidentally, yes, I am monetizing it because when we make content on YouTube, it's monetized by default.
Adam did not even try to dodge the heat. He just spun it like a savvy businessman instead of a straight-up culture vulture. For a hot minute, parts of the hip-hop crowd actually rocked with him. At least he was keeping it 100 about chasing that bag. But whatever respect he had left evaporated completely the second Adam sat down with Blockstar, the exact guy who caught a charge for the murder of Pop Smoke. That choice alone was enough to set social media on fire. But the actual viral interview, that made the whole nightmare 100 times uglier. Blockstar sat right in that chair with zero remorse. He talked about taking a life like it was just another regular day in the streets.
It wasn't intentional. I'm not sorry about nothing. It should never happen, but I ain't sorry. I mean, like, if I could go back, I'll go back, but I ain't sorry.
I didn't do that interview because I don't care. That's what a lot of people seem to think, is that Adam just doesn't give a That's not the case at all.
This guy would platform literally anybody, no matter how nasty the blood was, just to farm clicks and views. That sit-down fully drained his street cred. From that exact moment on, calling him a culture vulture was not just an opinion, it was absolute gospel, burning from the inside out. While the internet cooked Adam alive, his media empire at No Jumper was imploding. It got way more personal and way more ugly. The loyal crew that carried his podcast through its absolute glory days was about to shatter. And it happened in the messiest, most public way possible. The spark that blew it all up was a move so totally reckless, it permanently ruined how anyone looked at Adam as a human being. The absolute chaos ignited when a trans guest sat down on the podcast. Right there, mid-conversation, they completely outed Housephone, exposing a deeply private situation he had with them.
Never mind.
Come on, let's hear the
No, I
impression.
was going to impersonate someone that I shouldn't have.
Oh, come on. You've already sold out entire life here.
I sign NDAs and I take them very seriously, so just letting everybody
you didn't
know
get one
that.
I'm guessing.
He didn't convey me. Okay.
A deeply personal secret, something that was absolutely nobody's business, got dragged into the spotlight for millions of viewers to feast on. And wild enough, Adam had done him dirty before. The boss had already caught heavy heat for throwing jokes about the tragic abuse Housephone's mother suffered.
He beat the shit out of my mom one time, and I saw it. I saw it with my own eyes, and he literally almost killed her.
I know,
right? I know. Actually,
Your uncle gonna be like, you know this guy in a little house phone?
He was dead serious about it. He called, he sent multiple texts, he laid his boundaries out plain as day.
It didn't even sound like you was even listening to me when I called you on the phone. I
saw
asked you
the
not,
text
I asked you not
messages
to
of me
put it
tell-
out. I asked you not to put it out.
You asked me to edit it out.
I asked you
didn't
not
tell
to
me
put it out.
Put it out.
The first thing that I said was, can you not put it out?
Adam dropped the full episode anyway. That grimy move lit the fuse on a massive blowout, permanently tearing the No Jumper podcast roster straight in half. The screaming match that followed was straight up one of the most brutal, hardest to watch moments in No Jumper history. Housephone pressed him over that fake on-air apology, calling pure cap. Then Adam retaliated with something entirely unforgivable, throwing the death of his recently passed mother right back in his face.
Talking about the person that fucking raised me?
Are you actually acting like I have some kind of disrespect for your mom when
You're disrespect-
Brotherhood, basic respect, none of it meant a damn thing to this guy when viral content was on the line. He would gladly weaponize the darkest, most painful chapter of your entire life to boost the ratings. Zero hesitation.
This is my podcast, and I'm willing to hear out other people's opinions, but if your opinion is that I should have sat there and took that, get the fuck out of here. It's not happening.
It's my podcast.
Because that cold statement told every single host on the roster, without a doubt, that Adam viewed them as mere pawns. Expendable, highly replaceable tools to be squeezed for views and tossed when they stopped being useful. Inevitable fallout. Adi and T-Rell, two of the most rock-solid, loyal heavyweights on the No Jumper squad, walked out the door together.
Today, we put in our resignation papers today, man. Yeah, man, we left the fort, man. No more AD at No Jumper.
And they were not the only ones who bounced.
No more Duno at No Jumper. No more Smack at No Jumper. We gone, man. Me personally, I feel amazing, man.
That mass exodus completely ripped the heart out of the operation. These were the real voices that gave the podcast its actual soul. The talent that made it a real hip-hop crew, not just some guy's generic content mill. Adam claimed he learned his lesson, but the receipts screamed a completely different story. Instead of tapping back into his roots, those deep interviews with underground rappers that built the channel, Adam chased the chaos. Guest brawls were going viral, and bro was eating up every single second of the clout. The chemistry that once made No Jumper the illest hip-hop podcast was completely dead. Now, it just reeked of pure desperation, toxic volatility, and absolute emptiness. The personal fallout. If that staff walkout crippled No Jumper's credibility, the disaster waiting in Adam's personal life buried it 6 feet deep. Because the reckless moves Adam made off the mic turned him into the most clowned creator on the entire internet. And the smoke from that fire choked his brand in ways that zero amount of viral content or daily uploads could ever fix. Adam and his wife, adult film star Lena the Plug, always bragged about their open relationship online. But things went completely off the rails when Adam personally set up a shoot for Lena with adult performer Jason Love.
I helped her brainstorm this ingenious plan.
He broke down how they had been chopping it up about this exact move for months, way before they ever even walked down the aisle.
And we decided that we thought that it was a pretty decent idea. And I kind of like wrapped my head around it in the sense of like, you know what?
It blew up into one of the biggest media stories nationwide for weeks. Even Andrew Tate was breaking it down with Tucker Carlson. The memes were absolutely ruthless. That TikTok template of Jason Love creeping up behind Lena became one of the most recognizable viral formats on the entire app. But the real disrespect popped off when Jason Love started his own press run. He told the whole world he put in way better work than Lena's actual husband and the father of her child. Adam was completely heated. He cried about violated professional codes, dropping a TikTok declaring Jason Love officially blacklisted from ever working with Lena again. That TikTok pulled 5 million views. Adam leaned all the way into the drama. He treated the disaster like a viral marketing rollout. And from a strictly money perspective, it went absolutely crazy. The video became the highest earning OnlyFans drop of all time. Lena made millions with a capital M. Their joint hustle, Plug Talk, doubled its revenue overnight. But in the hip-hop space, those bags didn't mean a single thing. That cuck label got super glued to Adam for life. He tried debating the technicalities and dictionary semantics, but nobody in the culture was trying to hear his sad excuses. Even Lena started moving completely different. She was publicly disrespecting him, and the internet immediately pounced on every single word. And despite that fake blacklist, the street said Lena kept filming with Jason Love anyway. The disrespect was heavy at this point. Then came the celebrity boxing match. That is exactly where things went from bad to totally catastrophic. In January 2026, Adam22 and Jason Love finally squared up in a celebrity boxing match promoted by Adam Ross. This was supposed to be his major redemption arc, a chance to win back his dignity, to settle the beef with his hands on the global stage. Instead, he caught the absolute worst-case scenario. The fight ended in a first-round technical knockout, reportedly lasting just 60 to 70 seconds total. Adam looked terrified from the opening bell. He put up zero actual resistance before the referee officially waved it off. Making it even worse, Lena worked as a ring girl for the event. Afterward, she openly joked about Jason being incredibly large in multiple ways. The whole internet took that as the ultimate, most humiliating public betrayal of her own husband. The memes were vicious. The comment sections were an absolute slaughterhouse. People online were calling this whole spectacle one of the saddest, most deeply emasculating public events they had ever seen. And for a guy who spent years playing a respected boss in hip-hop media, a culture built completely on respect and street toughness, the damage wasn't just heavy, it was completely permanent. After all that, he straight up launched a show called For the Love of Lena, literally a reality competition, hunting for random dudes to sleep with his wife. Whatever microscopic shred of street cred he still had left in hip-hop circles was officially dead and completely gone. Now he was going broke. Adam's personal reputation was totally trashed, but he still had one thing left on paper, the podcast business. No Jumper was still pushing out content every single day, boasting 4 million subscribers and a full lineup of shows. Except behind the scenes, the analytics painted a completely different, darker picture, and the financial walls were slowly crushing him from every single direction. Before the cash flow problems even leaked, Adam torched his remaining credibility with his core fan base, a devastating hit he could never recover from. He got tangled up in a crypto rug pull on the Solana blockchain. He announced his backing of a new coin just 30 minutes before launch. The coin pumped from $500,000 to a $4 million market cap. Then Adam and the insiders dumped their bags, crashing it back down to $100 grand. Classic pump and dump. Textbook finesse. The irony was thick enough to actually choke on. Adam literally tweeted against this exact scam back in 2021. He called shady crypto schemes and NFTs pure, worthless digital junk. Now he was running that exact same hustle on his own fans. YouTube detective CoffeeZilla caught the scent and pulled up holding all the receipts. In private messages that eventually leaked, CoffeeZilla looked him dead in the eye and said, "Drop the crypto coin, because you will either scam or get scammed." Then came the shockwave that rattled the whole hip-hop media scene. In April 2025, Adam dropped a video called "No Jumper is Going Broke." He flat out admitted the channel was bleeding cash and he could not hide the financial bleeding anymore.
Yeah, it's funny seeing people try to dunk on me where it's like, bro, I chose to share this with the world, so clearly I'm not too embarrassed about it.
He laid out the grim math for everyone. Their main Instagram, which took the crew nearly 10 years to build from scratch, vanished overnight. No explanation. 0 strikes on record. That account was a massive, reliable bag. They pushed sponsored posts constantly, and that entire cash cow died in a single night. Then came a lawsuit from former host Harmonious Yearly claiming wrongful termination, while another former employee, Riley G., came forward alleging sexual harassment.
Now, essentially everything in this lawsuit is completely fictional, and every lawyer that I've spoken to about it has described this as basically an extortion attempt, but it still cost us a ton of money already.
He axed 15 employees in a brutal flash, closed down the No Jumper retail store on Melrose in LA, and threw the warehouse up for sale. In that Vlad interview, he confessed he should have kept his overhead dirt cheap from day one. He pointed to Vlad's lean operation as the exact playbook he needed. But the federal heat is what really dragged this entire empire into total darkness. When the massive Big U federal RICO indictment hit the streets, it snatched up No Jumper regular Brick Baby and Loose Cannon. Then Whack 100 jumped on Adam's own platform to announce the feds were literally knocking at Adam's door. Oh man, I just called my lawyer to get him down there so Adam does not start snitching, bro. Man, they are saying Adam got locked up. Adam quickly made it clear he was not arrested and fully cooperated, but the brand took catastrophic damage. The street view of No Jumper shifted. It looked like a snitch pipeline where feds grabbed tape to build cases. That stain refused to wash out. Guests started treating the podcast couch exactly like a cold federal interrogation room. One heavy moment hit when rapper Lil Rai quietly warned his boy to stop running his mouth right there in the No Jumper studio. Another guest,
I saw this video that alleged that it was you involved in this crazy ass shootout. What was that situation? Maybe it might not have been you. I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah, I don't think it was me.
These just fall flat on concrete every time. It never fucking failed.
One user posted, "As a dude watching since 2015, this downfall is just incredibly satisfying." Adam was down to hustling in X direct messages, promising lifetime replies to anybody throwing $5 a month at a YouTube channel membership.
For Adam, this must be really painful. At one point, he was viewed as among the biggest players in hip-hop that people flocked to every month.
Stepping on his closest friends and refusing to ever take a loss or learn a lesson until the disappearing money finally forced his hand. He still promises he will bounce back. He still pushes videos. He still goes live. But the golden era of No Jumper running hip-hop culture, that is dead and gone, and the entire internet knows it. So let me ask you this. When the walls finally caved in on Adam, was it terrible luck or the direct result of his own toxic moves? Drop your honest thoughts down in the comments. And if you want more deep dives like this, tap the next video on your screen.